The approach that we have taken is a very bold approach. The concept of the analytics is very different because our entrance into the AI market. We are changing the industry from give me something that I want to I will tell you what you need. We will give you the answer. I had a strong foundation of knowing what it is to be a programmer. My focus was all about when I deliver a product, the customer should use it. That was it. I didn't know anything more. I didn't know any, business data. I didn't know the financial implications. And I started managing 4 different security operations centers. I realized the value of what cybersecurity was. It pivoted me into more of a CIO role. I felt like I had the ingredients of what it takes to be successful at strategy, but strategy also gave me an opportunity to slowly prove myself. When I took on the security and CIO role with the security focus with operations, and then moving into now what I consider as the privilege to be able to run the engineering team. I also will tell you on a day-to-day basis, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, but it's also not without challenges. Nobody will tell you what the future should be, right? You need to be strategic. And the pitfall that I see with the individuals sometimes when they transition to the role is they're really good at execution, but they forget that they also have to think strategically. If you don't have an execution, in my mind, there is no future if you don't take care of the present responsibilities, right? So I think that transition, it sounds easy, but it kind of messes people up. Sometimes you think about the priorities and you're so focused on it, and people would say, I don't have time. I'm so busy, I'm heads down, I'm doing this. I don't have time to think beyond this. But the challenge is, if you don't think beyond what you're doing today, you are letting yourself down, you're letting your team down, right? You're not soliciting that advice. You're not looking for ways to do more strategic work. And of course, I would say you're letting your employer down, right? Your company down. So I think it's that responsibility of how you balance the strategic priorities, your day-to-day priorities, and bring everybody along to have the ride with you is very, very important. When we think of mature market, we somehow assume that there's no opportunity for innovation, right? I think it's the opposite. Because if you think of a mature market, especially in a business intelligence, we have customers who are actually quite desperate to bring innovation. With AI everywhere, they're looking to find opportunities to do that. So I don't see being a mature market means that you cannot innovate, right? I think there is definitely a lot more opportunity in an innovation. If it is truly a differentiator, value proposition, which is customer-centric, I think you have a huge opportunity there. Understand the customer, know your customer, build your use cases with the customer, test with the customer, evolve it. Because you are taking a mature market, a matured workflow, right? And then you are introducing something new. You cannot introduce an AI tool just because everybody is doing it, right? It doesn't work that way. If the customers are used to our dashboard, right? It's passive at the moment, right? It's not enough at this point. Customers are expecting your dashboard to be more human-like, to talk to you, to tell you what needs to be done. But you have to demonstrate that. So I would summarize that as the key elements is be customer-focused. Absolutely be customer-focused. Do not, think that you can innovate and give it to a customer. You need to work with the customer. It's also important to know that customers have years and years of data, right? If you introduce an AI-powered solution, respect the fact that they have data and they have to make sure that you are providing a proper data management for them. And remember that time is very critical. Everyone wants to claim success with the AI, even before they are ready with it, right? But fortunately, we did a couple of things which I think was really good. One is we recognized that we need to nurture new talent. We have strong architects who have built our product over decades, and we have strong technical brains. But at the same time, we realized that adding them to a fresh talent and nurturing that talent and making sure that you can provide very fast, iterative solutions was something important. And we also recognize the fact that when you are delivering AI solutions, you need to be able to support both structured and unstructured data. As much as I think the space is very crowded, the type of AI innovation that we are doing at this point is going to set us apart. And when we are building an agentic AI architecture, which we started at the beginning of this year, and being able to support different LLMs, we suddenly opened up the opportunity of what we can do in strategy. We've been fortunate to have customers working with us. Right? Some of the feedback is far better than even I would have expected. Things like our auto dashboard is really resonating well with the customers. And we are making sure it's not just taking it to the production, that they are also able to adopt that. Currently, the reactive assistant is given, right? The AI is there for everything at this point. But I do see that this is going to be changing, right? It's going to become more and more autonomous, more intelligent. I don't think we can ever expect an AI solution without a human intervention at all. There's a responsibility that we all have, right? When you provide AI solutions, first thing to establish is recognize that the humans have to be part of the loop. Right? It is not like AI is going to deliver a solution, our customers are going to run with it, right? It is really, really important to recognize that we are going to establish goals, but humans are there to validate it. And humans are there to provide oversight, right? How do you provide oversight? You got to be constantly monitoring it. You have to be constantly evaluating it, right? If you find anomaly, you need to put some controls in place, right? If you get feedback, right, that's something that we want to make sure we provide the feedback to the AI engine, but by doing that, you need to have a learning framework. As it gets better, there's also a need for you to constrain, because you would find if a human is in this loop, you will know there must be some hard constraints and there may be some soft constraints that you have to add the constraints to it, right? Because you don't want AI responding to your customer on topics that you think are not professional, right? That's a hard constraint. Responsible AI solution means increased data security, increased governance, right? Without that, whatever you do, you lose the trust. You lose our credibility. So we need to make sure there is governance added to the AI solutions. I think for me, it's equally important to make sure that we are explaining it, because the customers, the users demand that, right? At this point, how do I trust what the answer is, right? We need to provide that explanation. We need to provide the audit, right? So in no way we can roll out something and saying that human is not needed. Human is needed at a different capacity. Human is needed to get the AI solutions right. Human is needed on an ongoing basis. It's not about, we need a human to do what the AI can do, right? You got to recognize that, right? AI can do more than what the human is, and you can reduce the number of humans who are part of that system at this point, but you need to put the guardrails. And if you do that, I do think that customers will trust us. Autonomous AI is here, but it is going to be coming with a lot of effort from the humans. The landscape for business intelligence and the data management evolves around 3 areas in my mind. One is the cloud computing, right? We've been seeing that a lot. The other one is obviously AI. And the third one is the data governance, increased need for data governance. We have to recognize that it is really important to manage data, right, for business intelligence and leverage cloud native platforms, simply because you don't have a good AI solutions without proper data, right? They go hand in hand together. When it comes to AI, it's almost given that the customers are expecting AI-driven analytics, right? They're expecting that the users can just talk to what they need, use simple human language. Customers are also expecting, for instance, fraud detection. Any anomaly, they are expecting that, right? And they are demanding advanced analytics, which is what we talked about, which is, give me the action. Don't show me just the reports. Give me the recommended actions. For you to provide in advanced analytics into the AI space, you're providing the environment that you simulate. You are trying to find a way to optimize their workflows, right? So I think, and more importantly, predictive modeling, right? You don't need that many data science anymore. Even a non-experts can actually build models. But focusing on cloud computing, focusing on AI, you definitely cannot take away the need for the data governance, because you can now use AI to tag your data, right? You can get your privacy. You can get all the compliance that you need. The enterprises have different data. They are not connected. Now you want to roll out an AI solution. That interoperability doesn't exist today. AI is only as good as the data, right? Even though you can train AI and make it better, but it does rely on our data, right? So I think that interoperability is where I think our Mosaic comes into picture. If you handle the data management with the right AI tools, the type of robust solutions that you're going to get is going to be phenomenal. We are managing customers' cloud already. We are really careful about how we do data governance, and we are bringing in some of the AI tools. We are very, very powerful. So I think that's a huge opportunity for pretty much anyone in the industry to play a role. And I see strategy playing a very strong role, bringing business intelligence, not ignoring the data management, all together linked with the AI. What we are developing as a universal semantic layer is powered based on our almost 3 decades of the semantic layer that we built, right? But what we've been able to do is create that universal semantic layer, which is truly platform independent, right? That's what makes it really unique. It's a single place of truth. Think of a scenario, right? You have the enterprises now wanting to roll out AI solutions, but they find that they're using different tools. Even business units within a company could be using, some of them could be using Power BI, some of them could be using strategy, and some of them could be using Click, Tableau, you name it, right? When they want to truly innovate, add AI into the ecosystem, gain efficiency and the speed, they're suddenly seeing that they have multiple tools. We are taking completely a different approach. We are saying, we will give you that freedom, continue to use your data, no issue at all, continue to use your tools, but we will create that universal semantic layer as a tool. We'll give it to you that allows you to define, right, all your business logic, all your data definitions, very consistent, add your security layer, and in essence, you are completely abstracting with all the technical data connectivity issues for the end user. To me, it's because of the power that we have, our IP that we host in our semantic layer, and not restricting the customers to say that you have to be on our platform. We are adding more caching, we are making sure it's scalable, making sure it's high-performing solution, and giving them the ability to retain their data in the way the current stack is, and not having to retrain the business users too. I think that's the power of Mosaic. And when we have Mosaic, there's another component, which is our Mosaic Studio, right? That is actually taking them to the next level, because we've introduced AI into it. No longer the administrators have to spend time creating the models, right? The AI creates the models. As a program, Mosaic provides them the layer, the universal semantic layer that they never had before. It just opens up the opportunity for the world, right? Any company, any enterprise which cares about their data, they want to know the trend. They want to know how to manage their inventory. They want to know what their sales is. Bring Mosaic along, run your tools, and see the power, right? And see the power of what AI can tell you. See the power of how quickly you can provide it, because we give you the abstract layer. So you can be a strategy customer. You can be a different BI tool when the customer, when you adopt a Mosaic, it gives you the edge, the speed, it gives you the consistency, right? And I think Mosaic is out there to, I think, win the market in my mind at this point.